up, everybody? Mr. News Soul. You'll catch me every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday from 12 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Links in the description below. How's it going, everybody? Mr. News Soul coming at you. We are reviewing an old retro game that came out November 16th, 2004. This is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. It's the one that's going to be coming right before the new one, Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which is supposed to come out this year, maybe next year, with everything going on, who knows. There are many different clans. This is, of course, PC only. The version I've got is from GOG.com. Now, there is a mod out for it called the Unofficial Patch, which puts back everything that is missing from the game, and then some. Now, the story from the game is you start off whatever clan you are. You get sired, you become a vampire, but it's against the Masquerade rules for any vampire to make a new vampire. Well, your master pretty much gets killed in front of the entire vampire. Now you have different factions that are fighting each other, warring, all kind of stuff. At the same time, within the game, you can't just randomly go up to people and start feeding on them. Otherwise, you get a Masquerade violation. You get too many and the clans come to kill you and put you on your final death. Now, the game has a mixture of first person and third person views. You are mainly in first person view when you're walking around, but when you go into like combat or anything, it goes into third person for the most part. Not sure entirely why it does that, but for anything that's melee related, it goes to third person, as you can see here where I swung the sword instead of, and I meant to pick up the pallets here. Now, the game, yeah, it's very outdated. I can't remember what engine it uses, but all I know is I do believe the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is going to follow the story of this one. I could be completely wrong though. But if you like old RPG type games, then this is definitely a game to play. There are so many different paths you can take in this game, and your choices, as far as I can tell, actually matter. And you know, that's an actual plus side in a lot of games of this nature. Now, I don't know entirely what each feat in the game corresponds to, but there are so many different ones that you can get. Beginning out with, I would definitely recommend getting skills that help you with hacking computers, lock picking, and sneaking around, and then go from there in terms of your playstyle. Now, the clan that I am is called the Bruja, and they're more brawler types, hand-to-hand combat. So most of his skills, or her skills, depending on what kind of, if you make a female or a male character, you could be either one. Depending, now, like I said, with Bruja, they're more hand-to-hand combat, so they're more like brawlers. So a lot of their skills are based in hand-to-hand combat type stuff, and not so much thinking skills. But like I said, you can make your character however you please. Now, with the unofficial patch, what that does, like I was saying, is it brings back things that were taken out of the game when it went to GOG and Steam, because this game originally came out on, it was either CD or DVD back in 2004. So that just shows you how old this game is. It's literally about 18 years old, roughly, somewhere around there. No, 17 years old. Sorry, did my math wrong. 17. It's 17 years old, and it's starting to show its age. But I mean, there's so many different mods that that are out for this game that are going to improve so much visuals. There's gameplay mods. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in this game, but the base game at its core, with all the patches and everything, even if you don't do the unofficial patch, is still a very good game for those that love RPGs. This has your classic RPG. Now, it's not turn-based in terms of combat, but your feats and everything are going to determine what you can do. Now, as you see, you got, your classic HUD and all this. Now, if you're wondering what is being shown on the right-hand side, the celerity, potence, blood buff, presence, these are all different skills that each of the vampire factions have. Now, be mindful of using these because it does use your own blood. So if you use too much, you're going to need to feed. And if you don't feed after a certain while, if you remember the first game, Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, the beast takes over. And you will attack any random person just to get blood. Now, if this happens, you kind of lose control over your character, and you'll end up with a violation, and 9 times out of 10 you'll have a cop after you. Now, you can romance in this game, whether or not you can have a male on male and a female on female. I've yet to determine that. I haven't tried that, but I do know that there are some vampires in this game that you can romance on, and then you can go and, if you have your seductive feed up there, you can romance some people in some of the bars, and they'll let you feed off of them. And when you feed off anyone, you've got to be very careful that you don't drain them, because if you drain them, then you have a Masquerade loss and humanity loss. Now, if you lose humanity points in this game, you go full on beast. And that's definitely not entirely something you want to go with on the game, because the more humanity you have, the better. Now, if you want to get this game, I do believe it is still on sale on GOG. Last I checked, it was like $4.99. It is also on Steam. I think those are the only 2 platforms that is on, Steam and GOG. So if you enjoyed this review, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and the bell to know when I go and do this again.